Good morning. This car's never failed to amaze me. Like, I'm sitting here, the entire car is vibrating. Can you hear this? It's idling so low. I'm going to be getting this software off to the tuner quicker than I thought. It's unbearable. The whole car's shut. Like, it feels like a different car. Like, it's just going like. Okay. See, normally I wouldn't make a video. I'd keep it to myself because I've put the airbox on it. La la la. But it didn't affect the other model. Look at it. We go lower and lower. This is the absolute lowest possible conceivable idle speed for this car. What have they done now? I can't even take off in it. Like, I love it. I love this car, but it's so weird. Like, it's just that they really... So I've got drivetrain rattle when I take off at low speed, like not loading up in the wrong gear, but just taking off, like the whole back of the car goes like. See, I'm confusing you guys. All right, for those of you who know the drivetrain rattle from the 2 year ago video, that at low speeds and maneuvering around at low speeds, it's also related to what I'm saying, but I'm getting obviously through the body. So I'm not saying anything's wrong with the car at all. I know that the tune will get rid of it. I've learnt with these cars, like, it'll do that. But this is just, there's something different about this car. I mean, at least in sports, sharp make it idle 40 RPM higher. So let's stall this car without spilling my coffee. It's so easy to freaking stall. Hang on. Clutch take up's nice. It's not, I said, oh, it's up halfway. No, it's not. But the clutch take up, it's probably lower and more defined. See, this is what you want the car to do. It did it then. So, but it doesn't do that. Like, it'll stall. Like, when you release the clutch, now I'm picking the clutch up, right? Now the IAC is opening and compensating. There we go. Beautiful. Now I've got a lot of, whoa. So that's what you want, but it's not aggressive enough. It needs to do it straight away. And the way you would, like, okay, so I pull the handbrake, let the clutch out. It's not easy to stall. This is different. It's reacting quicker than the other model. Look. So then you pick up and then you let go, and you can see the IAC. And I'll get it up higher. Watch. No, so it's quite aggressively down, like. So yeah, normally you get, and that's what we want, right? But you don't want it like, I think the WRXs flare up between gear, like the, what do they call it, the it's to reduce nitrites of it's to reduce nitrogen oxides and other emissions. When a car, there used to be a dash pot, so you let go of the gas on the carbies even, and it'll go and on the Mazdas you could adjust them a little, you know, like, so you can't just shut off oxygen because you'll get spikes in emissions. So over here, they've aggressively made it that it'll come back quickly to reduce fuel. So like, it'll idle up now. I'll push the clutch back in. And there we go, got it to 1500, but very quickly down. Needs to come down a little bit slower. And these are the things like, I don't know how the cob would be with this. Now, the steering is fixed. I'm pretty sure. The steering is not doing the because they were very low, the tyres. And this piano black just picks everything up. I mean, far out. I haven't even used this car. So, a lot of vibration through the body in this engine. My other one was smoother out of the box. So now what you get here, you get at a certain RPM, you'll get this droning through the body. Like, all cars do it. Most cars do it. Like, an inline 6 might not, but they do. The BMs even do it. So here we go. It started now. And I mean, there we go. It feels like one cylinder's half down right now. So it'll improve as it runs in, but I'm not sure exactly, like, you know, if the engine was built better, shouldn't it not really vibrate if a box is like naturally opposing its forces? So driving it, they're super smooth. But my other one is a similar thing. Like, my other one, it's like I've got two. There it goes right now. Ooh, feels like there's a misfire. So on a Golf, when you have this on a TSI, you've got a bad piston, believe it or not. So yeah, I'm not saying that it's normal in every car, but they do that. Most cars have this spot where it's just awful. And you've got to remember, they're machining the flywheels, the crankshaft pulley. Everything is made, you know, in a car like this to the absolute best tolerances for longevity and performance. So that's why when you lighten a flywheel, like, I know the flywheels here are whatever to the minimum, because that's what that whole is. If you get the heavier the flywheel, the more it cancels out the pulsations of the engine. So I'm not saying I want it to be perfectly smooth in that instance of this, but I'd love to know from an engineer what goes on right now. Okay, we've got a spot here where the car's sort of, this engine's making a lot of noise. Wow, there's something different here, guys. Something's different in the software, and we'll know if the tuner says so, but you wouldn't think so. Like, the Cruise does 30 k's an hour, as I said, so they've made some changes, but what's the economy? Probably 15.9, 16.8. It's not really reflective of the car. That's a very long-term average. It doesn't change very easily. Now, it'd be interesting to know if I drove around for 500 k's today, right, on 5 tanks of fuel, how much that'll come down, because the car is running in. So it's quite interesting. I'm going to now look up their official fuel figures. I mean, they can't be the same. The car's changed unless they've removed the weight for the wheels from the front bar, which is sort of what they're indicating. But I don't think so. That front bar, I mean, they've gone composite. I've seen it. They've taken the lights out, but that doesn't equate to these wheels. What I should have done is pull a fucking wheel off straight away and felt the wheel. But what have they done with this car? There's something different with the software.